Okay, so welcome to the Gameroom. That's the name of the podcast, and we are your hosts as always, Michael McLeod, and of course, me, the crowd favorite,
What?
Dwight, aka D Money.
This is starting to sound like Venom is hosting the podcast. We are Dwight.
But yeah, so
But yes, I'm Michael McLeod. That's Dwight Robinson.
That's right. He's Michael Dwight. So there's really not a whole lot going on, I guess, in the news or anything right now. But we'll just keep on trucking. We do have a lot of, I guess, little things to go over, but not anything super major. We're kind of in between most of the major things happening in the gaming world right now.
So what you're saying is it's a light episode.
It's a very light episode.
Yeah,
that's
that's
fine.
a light episode.
I mean,
it's all right, guys. We like to have you here.
yeah. Every once in a while, it's good to have like a light episode. We can just go over some stuff that normally don't have time for.
And because it wasn't a particularly stressful week, Michael, I'm just going to throw this out here. Since we're referring to ourselves oddly today,
Yes.
Michael got us on Instagram and Stitcher and Google Play. All these things I've been threatening for the longest. It finally happened, so... I'm going to beat that into your head again at the end of the episode. But yeah, we're on everything now.
Which, on that same note, we have a comment on our last video. I'm going to go ahead and give a shout out to Matt, the +1 for Crystal Caves. That was... I've never heard of Crystal... I think I actually have heard of Crystal Caves, so it's good to know somebody else out there. So
Duffer's DOS game? Is that what we're talking about?
Yes, yeah, okay, Duffer's DOS game, yep. So it's good to always...
What was that game you mentioned that almost became the name of the episode? Something... Something.
Oh yes, the it's like the Invasion of the Mutant Space Bass of Doom.
There you go.
It's a shareware game from Epic Mega Games some years ago.
Yeah, we axed that name because that was going to be the name of the episode, but it was just like, yeah, that's a little long.
Yeah, it would have been way too long. But yes, definitely keep going with those comments. Definitely going to try to read them a lot more often than before. Try to respond to them.
Which is one is definitely better than zero. I'll take
one
it.
Is always better than zero.
Yes.
All right, so let's just go right into games played. I guess you had a lot of games played. We can.
Yeah, I did play a lot. I actually played more than I wrote down, but I don't want to bore people either. So I'm just going to keep it moving. You know what? I don't actually remember what I played. But we write these things down, and of course I don't look at them.
I guess I could. There's a couple that we both did. There's a couple we both did, so we can.
Yeah. So actually, let's start with your. I'll start, and you can jump into this. You don't have a PS5 yet.
No.
But you were asking me questions about this one, which is Neo 2's Neo Collection came out, which I bought with reckless abandon. I'm not particularly good at these games. I like them, though. They're definitely the best of the Soulsborne sort of games, I guess, if you want to call them that, right?
Yeah. I mean, everybody else is calling them that.
That's what we're going to call them, because that's what other people are calling them. So, you know what? I did not put my computer in quiet mode. I should probably do that real quick. So you don't hear that,
but why,
the fan on my computer.
Why are you doing that? Yeah.
So I did it. It's done.
Yeah.
I picked up the Neo Collection on PS5. Started playing it. Got all the way through the first mission. I struggled. I'm not going to lie. I struggled. But I did get through it. Got to the second mission, and I was just getting my ass handed to me repeatedly.
Is this the first one or the second one?
The second one.
Okay.
So I played the first one. I don't know if it's been documented on this podcast, but I did play the first one on PS4 for a good while, probably about 20 hours. I got, 5 missions into it or so.
I think that's about where I'm at right now.
Yeah. That game is, I don't know. I just have such a... I'm not a perfect being. I know, I just have a very short tolerance for dying repeatedly. So, regardless of the fast loading screen. So, I got the game on PC, and I actually played all the way through it on PC, the first one. So, because, hey, you can mod games on PC. So, that's how I got through Sekiro as well.
I'd say the best thing to do with that kind of game is when you're on the first level, replay the shit out of the first level, or like the first part you can get through, and then just level up your stuff as much as you can, and it makes a lot of the other stuff pretty easy.
So yeah, I'm I got Neo 2 on PC as well, so I just went ahead and got it on PC. And I didn't max my character out, but I beefed him up pretty good. And I have unlimited healing items, so
wow.
So yeah, Neo 2, I'm on the third mission now. So I actually finished the third mission. There's like a snake thing with like snake arms. I'm playing it and I'm having a pretty strong, pretty hard time regardless of me having all these items. And I'm just like, yeah, there's no way in hell.
Yeah,
like,
the challenge is still there. That's what I mean.
It's worse. The challenge is way worse in this one.
You still as opposed to some other games, if you level up a whole lot and then you just steamroll everything. In here, it just makes it so that you don't die as easily from stupid mistakes. But it doesn't really mean that it's now super easy.
Oh, it's not easy.
You can. Yeah. I mean, you still have to know how to time things and not fall off of cliffs and things like that, and not get lost and all that other shit. So,
and I don't know if it's just because I'm older or what. I just don't have those reaction times like I used to. Like, yeah, I mean, not that they were particularly fantastic to start off with, but
yeah,
like there's this one enemy in the third mission. It's like it's a snake with boobs. That's the best I can say.
Snake with boobs, yes.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. So it's a snake with boobs.
That's probably a lamian. Oh, actually, I know exactly what you're talking about. Yeah. Go ahead.
But you know how if you know what I'm talking about, they do this like one thing where they'll turn upside down, they turn their heads upside down, and they like wrap themselves around you and like bite your head off.
Yeah, and it does a shit ton of damage.
It does an incredible amount of damage. 2 of those, and you'd be done. If I didn't have those healing things, I would have been straight done. Like I could not. There's no way. I would never made it past that point. So. But because I'm playing it on PC, I'm enjoying it. The only thing I'm not getting, I can play it on max everything on PC, but my monitor is not HDR, and it is not 4K, which, I mean, it's not that big of a monitor or whatever. Mm-hmm. But I feel like I'm missing the HDR because having played it on PlayStation 5 and playing on this, I can definitely tell the HDR is a thing.
So. Once you've seen HDR done well, it's really hard to go back.
And it's not that it's ugly; it's just like I really wish I had that.
Yeah.
So, and also the PC doesn't have the same options that the PS5 version does. I mean, those are just like 3 presets. Here you can go down the list. Also, mine was stuck at 720p. I had to like go into the like README file and like
change like a
manually put in the resolution to make it 1080p. It was dumb.
Yeah, I don't miss messing around with all that stuff, but it's nice to have a lot of options.
I guess, yeah.
Generally,
but yeah, I'm going to continue to play that. I'm loving it so far, and I like the fact that if I'm really struggling, I can just turn on God mode and get through something if I need to. Man, I mean, PC gaming. I love my consoles, but I like that it gives you options that the developer just refuses to.
Right.
Because I love Sekiro, and I know people are like, oh, no, that's not the way it's meant to be played. It's like, bitch, I ain't got that kind of time. I don't have time to sit here and struggle. Like, I got a life. I got shit to do.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, that's in general. I used to, play games on, like, much harder difficulties or whatever, and, I slowed down a lot. So I'll kick it down to normal. Now, recently, I'm like, oh, man, I might have to kick it down below normal for some games or whatever. It's like,
most games for me start on normal. Unless I know it's going to be a long game and I kind of want to chew through it, I have no shame in putting it on easy.
Yeah.
I didn't write this on this list, but for the second time, I started Atelier Ryza. I can't remember the subtitle. You know what I'm talking about, though.
But
yeah, I put that shit on easy because I heard it's a like 40, 50 hour game. It's like I want to beat the game, but I don't want to spend 40, 50 hours on it. So
is it really that? I was going to say, is it really that hard? Aren't you?
No,
most of the time
I can't
just, like,
imagine it's that
materials?
hard. I can't imagine it's that hard, and it's really not so far. But even still, it's like if I can get through a battle in 30 seconds versus what used to take a minute, why not?
Right. Yeah. I get the reasoning.
Yeah.
But yeah, let's see. That actually goes into one of mine here. Or I guess you want to keep going with
go
the rest
for
of yours. Yeah. So I'm gonna throw in Dragon Quest XI S.
Yes,
so,
you're still playing it. My wife fell off.
I'm still playing it. So I
thought everyone fell off when I beat it. So
I haven't gotten super far. I'm actually at the time now. These aren't really spoilers anymore. It's been out since 2017. I'm at the part now where
you were right before Yggdrasil. last we talked, I believe.
Yes. So I've gotten past that.
Yay.
So now I am just Sylvando. Nobody
right
else is in the
past
party. So yeah.
You're
I haven't
Sylvando
gotten much past it.
well, let's just call him Dave. I'm not calling him Dave.
And so another thing about that. So his name's Dave, right? But in the Japanese dub, his name is Alice Chan, right?
Oh, okay.
So, and the thing is, when they call, like, he calls him Alice Chan, and then Alice Chan calls him Nason or whatever, right? Like older sister, whatever. Kind of like if you're in a gang or whatever. That's what he calls him, and it's just like they take that out completely out of the English one, you know?
Yeah, they call him. Sylvando calls him Dave, and he calls him Sylph.
Which is, I don't really. I get some of the names being changed, but to me, that kind of changes their whole dynamic altogether. So, I don't know. I don't really get that. And when I'm hearing it, I'm like, he even names all his moves. Like, there's like a drop kick. He's like, oh, Alice kick and stuff like that. And I was like, oh, that's pretty dope. But then, like, they take all that out. And like, the subs don't say that.
So you're right there at it then, because that's like right after Yggdrasil falls.
Yes,
spoilers,
right after.
Whoops.
Right after. So I wanted to ask. So is this? I heard that they added in parts where you play as just.
This
a single
is
character?
the first part they added in. This was not in the original version.
Not in the original. Okay.
So like in the original version, so I'm gonna go ahead and spoil it a little bit for you. You could probably just guess what would happen. You're gonna play as the characters by themselves. And then you're going to get back around. I see
that's where we're going. Yeah.
Then you're going to get back around to the Luminary, and the story will continue.
Right.
In the original version of the game, once Yggdrasil fell, you immediately started as the Luminary, and you went and found these characters later.
Gotcha.
And you just kind of got like a backstory about what was happening, but you didn't actually see it happening.
Gotcha. So this is some Final Fantasy 15 level shit then. So that's pretty cool. I like that.
Yeah.
It is, especially since you get to, it kind of forces you to rethink, because I mean, up until this point, I was really steamrolling everything. It was just nothing was.
And you're not going to play with these characters for long. I'm just going to go ahead and tell you that. Don't get
which I figured, but I mean, it is kind of nice because I mean, right now I never use Sylvando, like never really saw the point.
I never used him except for you haven't got to that pet power yet, but yeah.
So
electrolyte.
So I have, I like the little mechanic that they do where he recruits all these people and he helps them out and they're like, oh, well, join up. I'm like, all right, cool. And you just like have this huge group of followers with you, which I thought was pretty dope. But it was the first time I ever died ever in this game is with him, because there's a monster. I'm right outside the sand. Was it Gallipolis? I think it's called Gallipolis. Yeah.
So the racetrack is, yeah.
In the very end, right across from that castle, by the rocks, there's like a little cactus there, and of course it's a fake cactus, and then there's like a huge monster underneath.
Oh yeah, no, that thing will fuck you up.
So I didn't notice that thing before, and then I was like, all right, cool, I'll fight him. Maybe I can get some experience.
So after Yggdrasil falls, a lot of the enemies in the world change. So.
Okay, because I was like, I didn't notice this guy before. And it's so it's a new one. But yeah, he fucked them up. He fucked them. And the thing is, if I had my actual crew, I probably wouldn't beat that like super easily.
You would have been fine, yeah.
So yeah, but I mean, I like that though. So I'm like, all right, so I gotta figure this out, change that.
I'm definitely glad you're still playing it. I was worried because, like I say, I stopped playing it. Nelly stopped playing it. She'll probably get back onto it eventually, but it seemed like almost. It almost seemed like I was encouraging it a little bit. I mean, mind you, I get excited about stuff. I admit I'm a little infectious sometimes, probably. But yeah, I was just like, good. Because I love the game. You still got a long way to go, though. You're only in you just started Act 2. I would say there's 3 major acts, probably. You just started Act 2, so.
Yeah, but, I'm still liking it.
You're a third through the game. It's not bad.
Dude. All right, so what else? You want to go into your next one?
Yeah, if I can remember what it is. Okay, so was it last week? I don't know. One of the weeks. I don't remember days. Friend of mine, there's a video game store here. It's not close by, mind you. Shout out to video game traders in Buford. That's not listening, I'm sure. I don't know, maybe.
Could be.
But yeah, they are the only store that's anywhere close by to me, video game wise. It's not like a GameStop. They actually sell older stuff and whatnot. So, He wanted to go. He's like, cool, a video game store. He wanted that Grandia HD collection they put out, limited run put out, and he didn't order it. But this store sells limited run games. Like, they order them in, and they're not terribly marked up. Like, they'll mark them up like $10, $15. Of course, they got to make some money. I get that. But they're not like eBay prices.
Okay.
So I was like, cool, let's go. The day comes, and he can't go. So I'm like, well, fuck it. I'm going because I haven't been in a while, and I want to go. So I go all the way up there. Long story short, I end up buying a Trinitron, Sony Trinitron.
Yes, yeah.
Which I've been wanting forever. So I'm like, cool. I got this thing back, and I was like, all right, you know what? It's time to play some old games. So I played a bunch of different stuff, but the one that kind of stuck with me for a little while, and the one I played the most of, and again, this is like one of those things. It's like, why do I have this on two different systems? I didn't even realize it. I started playing the Ultimate Spider-Man on GameCube, which is actually a lot of fun.
Yeah, it's a really good game.
And then
I played on Xbox back in the day.
Yeah, so actually, if you look at my list here, I had started on GameCube. I got pretty good into it, and I was like, I think I have this on Xbox, and I did. I still have my save file way farther in on the Xbox version. So I was like, cool, let me just switch over, dude. This game is so much better looking on original Xbox, as it was wont to do in that generation.
Right.
But it's just like Spider-Man actually has like his shading moves for one. like it actually changes depending on which way you're facing. This game is still really good, although I don't know how far I was into the Xbox version. But that shit was hard. It seemed like way harder. And I was like, was I much farther? I must have been. I was getting my ass kicked, so I was just like, well, I guess I'm done with this. But
yeah.
I remember playing all the way through this game back in the day. I didn't intend to beat it this time, but I did want to play a game. So, I mean, I played that. I played some Twilight Princess. I played some Tony Hawk. I played a lot of stuff. And that was the one I spent the most time with. That's a good-looking TV, man. I'm pretty stoked on that one.
Yeah, I'm sure. I'm definitely waiting to get my hands on one myself. I'm right now, as you're talking, I'm thinking about like the room that I'm in, the office, and I'm trying to see if I even have space for one. I think I see a little space for it right there.
So I bought a new entertainment center for my regular TV. I think I sent you a photo.
Yeah.
So I'm what my old TV was on. I think I think it's big enough to fit that Trinitron. So I'm thinking I'm going to do that. Plus, it has more slots, so I could put the Super Nintendo, the NES, the Dreamcast, the
definitely.
I put all that on there.
I definitely do not have a big enough, or I shouldn't say big enough, a sturdy enough entertainment center to put like something like a Trinitron on. Yeah. So,
the thing it's on right now is fine, but it really only has slots for 3 things. And right there, I have a Wii hooked up, a PS2, and an Xbox. But I have all this other stuff, and I was like, I want to hook that stuff up too. So, I mean, I'll even hook the GameCube up just to have the option for Game Boy Advance games and stuff. So,
right. Yeah, I'm sure that's amazing. Do you have it hooked up through a component?
I have a component switcher for those 3. Yeah, it's good stuff, man. And I want to put like a what is that mode SD card mod for the Dreamcast. I want to put like one of those.
Yeah, the I think it's like a disk drive emulator or whatever.
Yeah, but it's just you can put it. I hear those aren't that hard to install. I want to get an EverDrive for these systems eventually, and just have a nice like. I just want to play some old ass games and not really worry about it sort of set up eventually.
Yeah. Absolutely. All right, so let me see. Going straight into speaking of Dreamcast and old ass games and all of that, I'll go into one that we both were looking at, Balan Wonderworld.
So, is it Balan Wonderworld?
It's Balan Wonderworld. It's Balan, and
I thought it was Balan Wonderland.
We've gone over this so many times. They missed the opportunity by not calling it Balan Wonderland. And the funny thing is, if you go on YouTube and you look up other people's impressions of this demo,
why is it not called Wonderland?
So many people call it Wonderland. So many people call it Wonderland. There's a couple that I watched. All these guys are calling it Balan Wonderland and everything. It's Wonder World. I don't know why the fuck
it is. I
I
see the key art now, but it's just like I could have swore it was Wonderland.
Yeah, they fucked up. They should have just called it Wonderland. It would have been so much easier. I mean, you want to say Wonderland.
Exactly. So what do you play? I played this on 3 different systems. So,
yeah. So you're telling me.
I don't even know why I did that. I was just I know why I did at least 2, but I was just more curious, I guess, than anything else. So
Yeah, I just played this on Series X, and
so I actually didn't play it on Series X. So collectively, we've played it on 4 different systems.
Right.
So.
That's good, I guess.
I downloaded it on Switch just because it was up there. That version runs like you would probably expect. It's not optimized for Switch. Let me just tell you that right now. So.
Yeah, no, I saw some. I didn't play it on Switch, but I did see some like video and like analysis or whatever on Switch. Yeah, it's bad. And the thing is, there's really no reason for it to be bad because it looks like a new Dreamcast game. So I can't think of any reason why this game should not be playing at like peak 60 frames on a Switch.
Yeah. So I played it on One X and I also played it on PS5. But yeah. Despite the differences, which I mean, 1X, PS5, and I'm sure Series X were all about the same. What do you think about the experience overall? Because I was mixed.
It's definitely mixed. I mean, there's good and then there's bad. There's a lot of bad, but there's a couple of good things. I mean,
there's a lot of bad. A lot of the bad can be construed as good based off nostalgia. Like I don't know, some of the like weird dancing. You'll walk around and there's just like these dancing creatures.
Yeah.
But, like, you get close to them and they just disappear.
I didn't get what the fuck that was about at first.
I don't think it was about anything. I think that's just some shit that would have happened in a Dreamcast game, and they're like, oh, fuck it, let's keep with that.
I did not get it, because I thought that, you have to talk to this person, and they tell you what's going on or whatever, and I walked up, and they just disappear.
Like,
okay.
And they're not even, like, good disappearing. They're, like...
They just
mesh disappearing. Where, like, it's weird looking.
They're kind of, like, translucent or whatever. It's almost like... it wasn't on purpose, but it's more like, there's too many characters, we need to get rid of one kind of thing,
Yeah, like I say, this is some shit that would have happened on a PS1 or like a Sega 7 or a Dreamcast.
Yeah,
it's like they couldn't be bothered to program any sort of collision detection whatsoever.
Yeah,
so they're just like, just remove them when they get close.
It's really weird. So first off, the Yuji Naka-ness of this game is very apparent. So Yuji Naka, if you don't really know, for the listeners out there, he's a old school Sega guy, I guess. He's done a lot of stuff for Sega. He's and I love Sega. Anyone who knows me knows I fucking love Sega.
I love Sega too. Sega's good stuff.
Grew up on the Genesis and everything, and so anyways, when I heard that Yuji Naka was involved with this, and just from looking at it, it's like, oh shit, this looks like Knights but newer or whatever. Like, looks like a cross between Knights and Billy Hatcher.
That's 100% what I thought it was going to be.
So yeah, this game. So every button is jump, which of course Sonic was like that. All 3 buttons on the Genesis controller was jump, which oddly enough, a lot of people don't remember that. But, every button is jump. So you can only do one thing. You can change costumes, and they do different things, but you only can do one action. So there's one costume where you get, like, it's a dragon, and it spits fire. When you get that, you can no longer jump.
You can't
All
jump,
you can do is
which is
spit
stupid.
fire, which is ridiculous, but, whatever. You run super slow. I mean, they're running like crazy. The animation has them.
Yeah, the animation is way faster than the speed he's moving.
Yeah, and they're just kind of like inching along while their legs are going crazy like Roadrunner or whatever, and they're just inching along, which doesn't make any sense. Everything just feels awkward. The movement feels awkward. The jumping feels awkward.
And I wonder how much of this is intentional and how much of it is just like, I don't want to say laziness. I'm sure there's plenty of effort that went into this, but at the same time, it's just like, how much of this is intentional? I'm guessing
a lot of this is maybe intentional because I think he's trying to go for the old school feel. Thing is, it's kind of too old school because another thing that it does, a lot of those games back then did, is that it doesn't tell you shit, like nothing. The beginning
there's
intro
no context for what's happening.
It doesn't tell you, like, they barely, I think Balance says, like, one thing. He's just like, hey, welcome to my Wonderland, and that's it. Like, you don't know why you're there.
Why am I here? Who are you? What?
Like, who anybody is. You're just walking around, and you see this giant-ass fucking, farmer just, like, chilling, like, staring at you, and you don't know who the fuck that is or why he's there or anything. Like, there's no context for anything. Which, that kind of, like, blew me away. But,
I almost wonder if there's, like, an instruction booklet that's going to come with this thing.
Maybe. Because I mean, Knights didn't really tell you anything when you're playing that. They were just like, "Oh, look, it's kids and they're dreaming, woo!" And then you just fly around and shit.
Did you ever play Rodea? Was it Rodea the Sky Soldier?
I haven't, and it's sealed, and I've never played it. Never opened it.
So you bought it on Wii U?
I have the Wii U version that has.
Okay, so the Wii U version actually comes with the Wii version.
Yeah, I have both of those. Yep.
So yeah, guys, listeners, if you see Rodea the Sky Soldier on Wii U, it actually comes with the Wii version. That Wii U version is trash.
I heard
but
that.
the Wii version is actually really good. And if you want like a Knights-esque game, that's actually probably the closest thing you're probably going to get.
I think
it's actually pretty good.
Have anything to do with that one?
I don't know. I want to say yes, but I'm not positive.
Yeah, I'm not really positive either.
It's also on 3DS. Again, the 3DS version is the Wii U version though. It's just
that's
lower res. So get it. I don't think they sell it by itself on Wii. I think you have to get the Wii U version to get the Wii version.
Yep. So, the only versions you can actually buy, I mean, new anyway, I'm sure, used, people have it all over the place, is the Wii U or the 3DS version. So the Wii version is definitely the one to get. The game's kind of rough. And even on Series X, there's frame rate drops, which is
you had it on PS5 as well. I didn't play. By the time I got around to the PS5 version, I was just like, yeah, okay. I played like 10 minutes of it. I'm like, I'm done.
Like, why is Sonic Adventure 2 fucking dropping frames on a Series X? Like, I don't understand.
Why is Sonic Adventure 2 superior to this?
So the number one thing that annoyed me though was the world that you're in, like the level kind of unfurls in front of you, and I think I was telling you about
which is definitely an aesthetic choice.
Yeah, that's an aesthetic choice, but I don't like it because I was starting to get sick from seeing shit like unfurling and moving around and stuff. You're walking,
that didn't bother me,
and
but
it
I
kinda
could see that
around. And it's kind of like if you've ever seen gameplay videos of Sonic Extreme, that like canceled Sonic game, it kind of reminds me of that, and it's like, holy shit, that fisheye.
It's like there's not enough RAM to load in the world. I mean, this is a bit more artistic than that. Yeah, but that's what Sonic reminds. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't like it at all. So yeah, if you ever get around to trying it, try it out. Hopefully they fix it.
This game is gonna bomb. Bad.
I don't know what they're gonna be able to fix. In like what? This is like 2 months away, isn't it? Like a month.
Yeah, that's
or so?
what I'm saying. No one's gonna buy this. I'm not gonna buy it, and I was actually kind of excited for it. Here's the thing too: when you get to the part where you have to control Balin, all you have to do is like, instead of it being like Knights where you're just flying around and having fun.
Yeah.
All you're doing is watching a cutscene of him and like timing some button presses. And it's just like,
yeah. So yeah, it's
not what I wanted.
If
you ever played Knights and you have the kids section where you're just running around, that's this whole game. That's the part of Knights that no one likes to play.
Yes, that's exactly what it is. And you move so damn slow in those sections. I know exactly what you're talking about.
It's like they took the part that no one liked and made the game out of that part.
The entire game is that. Oh my god, that's fucking terrible. Yeah, those bump. It's a quick time event with only one button. Those little balance asides or whatever. It's really stupid. It doesn't make any sense. And you don't even know what he's fighting. He's like, hey, make Balin do stuff. And it's like, all right, cool. And he's like,
okay, all right then.
He's like kicking the shit out of this like purple rock, and I don't understand what's going on. What that purple rock said about his mom or whatever. Like, I don't know what's going on. He
said some shit apparently.
Anyway,
so yeah.
Moving on from shitting on that, if you want,
let's shit on the next thing.
There's plenty of videos out there, or YouTube previews out there you can watch where they just shit on Balan Wonderland for 30 minutes. So we won't do that here. Only like 10 minutes.
Go watch one of those.
Yeah, go watch that. All right, so I guess what you have? Oh, you have Hitman 3 on here.
I actually got 2 games in the mail from GameFly this week because it was just like that sort of week. The other game I didn't put on here because I didn't play a lot, although I can shit on a little bit, I guess. No, that's fine. It's that werewolf game. I don't even remember what it's called. Werewolf something.
Yes.
Definitely.
Werewolf something, yes. Actually,
I could tell you real quick. I have it on my GameFly list. So I rented that. It's Werewolf the Apocalypse Earthblood.
Yeah.
This straight seems like a really early 360 gen game. Like, the mechanics of it are very awkward. The acting is terrible. My thing is like, what game do you play as a werewolf outside of like Twilight Princess, like, which isn't exactly
the
same?
There's not a whole lot of them.
There's not a lot, so I rented it. It's fine. And that's
High
the end
praise.
of that discussion.
High praise.
It's fine. I think most reviewers shat on it pretty hard. I think it's fine for a budget game. I don't even think it's $60, and it's like they have a Series X and a PS5 version. I think those versions are like $40 new.
Wow.
You're gonna get what you pay for. If you're buying a budget game, you're gonna get a budget game. Be happy with what you got. So, but Hitman 3, yeah. So Hitman 3, I love Splinter Cell.
Well,
that's
real
well
quick,
documented.
before you get into Hitman 3, I actually just saw something on Vice about Werewolf. So there's an article on Vice, and it just says Werewolf the Apocalypse Earthblood is this year's best Xbox 360 game. It's the name of this article.
Wow,
So
really?
Yes.
Wow, they copied me that fast?
Yes. So I thought that was amazing. I guess they wrote this yesterday, so you copied them, sir. You owed them some money.
Okay. Maybe they thought they went into my mind.
But yeah, go ahead.
But no, I mean it is it's this year's new 360 game. But yeah, Hitman. Hitman. Yeah, it's one man. It's one man hitting on other men. Probably not.
Yes.
Yeah, so like I'm not good at these games. As much as I like Splinter Cell and I like stealth games, for some reason I'm garbage at Hitman. So
yeah,
I don't know why. I'm just not good at it. I guess I just
maybe because
I can't
it's a sandbox.
tweak the AI. Yeah, and I'm not good at directions, so a lot of times I get lost. But I did the first mission, and you're in Dubai. I don't know. You probably knew that already, but yeah, it's beautiful. It's an amazing looking game. I'm actually considering keeping it through GameFly because it's like $45. But I don't know. We'll see. I probably just play through it on the rental and get it when it's cheaper. But so yeah, you have 2 targets to kill on this first mission, and you're supposed to not get seen doing it. Obviously, right. I got seen on both sides. So one, I killed this one guy, and I'm pretty sure I wasn't supposed to kill him there. I killed him like in this transition hallway in this museum, and there's like guards on both sides. So I'm just like, well, this was a bad idea. So and there's nowhere to stick him either. So, so they both come in, and I just take this like service door, and I'm just like, yeah, okay, well. So I'm being hunted this entire rest of the mission as I go for that other guy. Constantly having to change costumes because they would just keep discovering me. Yeah,
that's just stressful.
And the second guy, I had to take out. Here's the thing, I'm sure there's a way to manipulate this AI, but like the second guy, he had 2 bodyguards who would just not leave his side. I'm like, how am I supposed to get to this dude? So eventually, I just gave up and popped him in the head, and I'm just like, you know,
just
whatever.
ran away.
and I just ran away. So I was like, I'm sure there's probably like a long drawn out method. Like they kept talking about like, oh, these fuses are gonna blow, or you can sabotage like different things. You can puncture like these gas canisters. I'm sure that would have led to something.
Or maybe you could have gotten somebody to like distract the guards or something.
Yeah, I mean something could have happened. There's definitely set pieces in the world that you know, like, okay, this is for something. I do not have the patience to try to figure out what it's supposed to be for, though. Like if I watch someone online do it, I'd be like, oh yeah, it's not so hard. Like there's one guy I like to watch on YouTube. His name is Stealth Gamer BR, I think.
Shameless plug. Okay.
Yeah, I'm actually gonna look it up because I do want to.
But you know, with Hitman, I've tried. I think I played Hitman Blood Money on 360 like years ago. I couldn't get into it either. I love Metal Gear Solid games, and Splinter Cell is pretty good. But yeah, if you
Splinter
give
Cell
me
is great, sir.
If you give me like this giant sandbox and say, all right, do whatever you want, I'm just like, all right, well.
I need a little more direction here, you know.
Yeah, I never.
I will say the AI is impressive though.
Games like that.
Because like in previous games, I may have like thought, okay, this will do something, but like if you're holding an item and you drop it, like the guard would be like, hey man, you dropped something. I'm just like, oh, that's impressive. Like I'm like, yeah, I dropped it, so you would go look at it, not tell me I dropped it. So, like,
you can always do...
Okay, so yeah, the guy's name is Stealth Gamer BR. He does a bunch of different like stealth games, but he plays them like probably how the developers are playing them. It's like Far Cry, and Hitman and stuff. He just makes it look so easy. Good stuff to watch. Anywho.
Also, you ever seen any of those high IQ, super high IQ videos where they'll show the limits of the AI and they'll like test out different things? Kind of like I think they have some for GTA and for Hitman where they'll like break something and see if somebody will notice it, or just like stupid shit like that.
I mean, that's kind of what this guy's doing. He's almost like toying with the game's AI to make it like not really break per se, but like he it's good stuff.
Yep. All right, so
but yeah, that's all I got on that. Hitman, it's pretty good, but I'm not good at it.
That's a good tagline.
I'm not good at it. Start thinking of a name of the episode if you hear anything that just kind of jumps out at you. I always struggle with that at the end of the episode. So
it's pretty good, but I'm not good at it.
Yeah.
Let's see. Immortal's Phoenix Rising demo. So
I actually played the full game this week. So
yeah.
So
you played the full game. I just played the demo. So all I have is that little vertical slice of the game. This game was not on my radar at all.
So I played the demo actually too on Switch because I wanted to see how it controlled on Switch. So I'm familiar with what you played.
And it's pretty damn good. And on the Series X, it looks amazing. See, I'm more.
So that's the actual game. That's the system I'm playing it on.
Yeah. So I'm always. I mean, graphics are nice and everything, but I'm always more impressed with like really good performance, and it just looks so crispy, clean.
It looks and runs super smooth.
Super smooth. I mean, the frame rate is rock solid. Everything is just really clean. Really sharp. The shadows and everything look great. When you're moving through, grass and on brush and everything, like shadows move around and stuff moves. And the HDR is amazing. That shit was searing my eyeballs. It was good shit. The gameplay, moment to moment gameplay is not. I wouldn't say like it was amazing, like it's doing a lot of really like new stuff. But just like everything melded together just felt good. This is just a really good playing game. I think it's really underrated because I don't really hear a lot of people talking about it. And I kind of assumed it was just
I don't think it sold well because this thing is like on sale digitally and physical all the time. It's like $30 right now.
Nobody knows anything about it. There's no name recognition. All you know is that Ubisoft made it. Like, really. There's really nothing else.
If you have any love for Assassin's Creed Odyssey, this is insanely similar to that. That and Breath of the Wild. I mean, I know everyone calls it back, but I mean, it's true. It's very similar to Breath of the Wild.
I think that's probably hurting it more than helping it because a lot of reviewers said, "Oh, well, it's Breath of the Wild, but Ubisoft or whatever or whatnot." And I mean, people don't generally like playing knockoff games. So
some of the puzzles I've interacted with are like kind of ridiculous, like to a point where, I mean, mind you, I kind of get how Nintendo thinks sometimes, especially whoever's designing these Zelda puzzles, because I'll be like, oh, I'll figure it out immediately. I got this. Boom, But like some of the puzzles I've had to do in Phoenix Rising, I'll get in there and I'll be like, what the fuck do they want from me? like I'll figure out like 2/3 of the puzzle really good, and it'll all be in one room. And then like the third part of the puzzle requires me to go outside the building and like bring a fucking rock in or something like that. I'm like, how was I supposed to like think of that?
Yeah.
Like I shit you not, I've had to look up solutions to puzzles several times because I'm just like, open world is one thing, but like keep everything enclosed. That's the only annoyance I guess I'll have. It's just like sometimes they'll want you to do stuff and it's very unclear what they want. I'm still liking it though.
I usually still liking it though. So I think what was it like? Older Final Fantasy games, the puzzles used to get on my nerves. But I mean, I also played them when I was much younger. So when I say early, like I'm talking about Super Nintendo Final Fantasy, but I'm talking about PlayStation and PS2 Final Fantasy. But yeah, I mean, it's really underrated game. Definitely worth a try. They have a demo, so definitely try that Immortal's Phoenix Rising demo if you get a chance.
Yeah, and I will say I tried that demo on Switch just because I have it for Series X, and I knew how good and it was solid. Switch version impresses.
Yeah.
It's not 60, but it runs smooth. It looks great. I'm just like, wow, okay. Good on you, Switch. This is no Balan Wonderland. This is,
yeah. So yeah, I mean, if Phoenix Rising can
Phoenix Wright
get 30, solid, then yeah, Balan
Immortal
has
Phoenix Wright.
That's it. There we go.
There
Immortal
you go.
Phoenix Wright. Yes. So your last game played Super Mario 3D World.
Oh yeah, so like I literally played this. It as we're recording this, it is the 12th of February. So that's the launch of Super Mario 3D World. So I played exactly 5 of the levels.
Okay.
Yeah, it launched today. And actually, the Bowser amiibo relaunched today too. So I picked that up. Somehow I missed that one. I missed that and Yoshi the first time around. I got all the other ones. I'm a big amiibo collector, but I missed those. I also got the Cat Mario and Cat Peach coming from Japan because they come in a 2-pack in Japan. They don't in America.
I did see that.
But yeah, I love this game on the Wii U, I will say. Fantastic on the Wii U. It is pretty much the exact same. The only major difference I've noticed, and I don't know if I like this or not, you move a lot faster. Like the base. I've seen that. So the base run is much quicker. The base run is pretty much what the dash was on the Wii U version. And the dash is slow the fuck down. like it's too quick almost. It's fine. I just got to get used to it. But I did jump off the board twice.
Just because you was just used.
Just because I was going way faster than I thought I was going. I just the muscle memory wasn't there, I guess. And I actually played this a lot on the Wii U. It's probably up there with my most played Wii U games. Which is, it doesn't sound like a lot. People are like, oh, I didn't play the Wii U at all.
Right.
Dude, I played the Wii U a lot. I got the thing day one. I have a ton of games on Wii U. I actually love that system. So,
I mean, it was out for a good amount of time too. It was out for 5 years before Switch came out. So it's really surprising nobody really got into it. It's only 1 year older than the Xbox One, also. So that's pretty interesting. Yeah,
that is interesting.
I skipped getting this on Wii U. I just got my Wii U recently. I didn't get it, when it was actually out or anything. I got it within the last year or so. But I skipped getting it because I heard that it was coming out for Switch. So I was like, I'll just wait for that. I'm not a huge Mario fan either, so I don't really have a lot of Mario games. I don't think I really have any Mario games. I was very interested in this game, though. Even when it came out on Wii, it looked very interesting because it was multiplayer, and it was more like the 2D Marios. It had the smaller levels and everything, but then it had some of the 3D Mario aspects. I don't like the full-on 3D Mario games. I remember I was more a Sonic head than a Mario head back, when the Genesis and Super Nintendo days. I always thought Mario just moved so damn slow. I was like, what the fuck?
Not now.
Not now. But back then, I always liked, Sonic better. But then I remember playing Mario 64 on an N64 kiosk at Walmart. And of course they had it, the screen is really high up, and then they have the controller way down here, and I'm kind of just staring up and killing my neck. And I played Mario 64, and I'm just running around and stuff, and I didn't like it. A lot of people, they see that the first time they played Mario 64, and it's a revelation. It's oh my god, this is the future of gaming, and it's amazing. And I didn't like it at all. I didn't like how moving around and platforming in 3D is just never really clicked with me. And then it was just this big open space, and you just kind of just running around and collecting stuff. I never really liked running around and collecting shit either. It's just kind of.
I know a lot of people don't like collectathons. I'm fine with it personally if the game is built around it.
Yeah.
If it's just there for padding, then no, I don't really care for it either. So.
Yeah. So I mean, going into Mario Galaxy, Sunshine, all the later ones never really was interesting. But this game looked pretty interesting.
I like those, but yeah, I can get what you're saying.
Yeah, and of course I know my wife would love it, so I definitely wanted to get that, and so we could do 2-player something like that. But that's good. I mean, there's a couple of websites like IGN that's kind of been not necessarily shitting on it, but farting on it a little bit. So I don't really get that. Okay. So I thought that was kind of interesting. Normally they're all in for Mario games, but they weren't really for this one. What else I got? I think that's the. Oh no, I have one more. The Fuser demo.
Do you?
Yes.
What is Fuser? Is that music thing?
Yes, it is that music thing.
What are you doing? Who are you?
So this is.
Get out of here with this shit. Go ahead.
So Fuser is made by, and I'm pulling this up as I'm talking.
Harmonix, is it?
Yes.
Is it? Oh, how did I know that? See, you've already infected me.
Yes. So it's developed by Harmonix, the same guys who did Rock Band and Dance Central and whatnot, and it's published by NCSoft, which is kind of interesting. So, I mean, music games have kind of fallen out of, favor a while ago. Everybody had Rock Band. Everybody was playing Rock Band and Dance Central in those games back then.
Not me, but yeah.
But, yeah, they kind of fallen out of style. I mean, nobody really likes plastic instruments and shit anymore. And of course, nobody cares about the Kinect anymore. So I guess, Harmonix is trying to figure out what to do all this time. And they figured it out. Fuser is actually really interesting. So I've seen some stuff about it, but nothing really explains what it is or what it's about. So it's like a DJ mixing game. So instead of actual instruments, you have 4 turntables. And then while you're playing, each turntable corresponds with a button. And of course, you can move your little, cursor around to all the different tracks you have available, and then hit the button to pull that, that LP or whatever to your turntable. The thing is, though, yeah, that's gross. So the thing is, though, there's 4 different. There's like vocals, underlying bass line, melodic track, and then like drums or whatever. And you can mix and match that out of the available options. So there's like 8 different options across the top, and you can mix and match all that stuff. And it was very, very interesting. I definitely recommend playing that demo. I don't think it's interesting enough.
What
for
is
me
the
to
demo
buy
on?
it.
Well, I don't even know why I'm asking. I'm not going to play it. For the listener.
So it's on Switch, PS4, Xbox, and Windows. I played it on Series X. So, I mean, yeah, it's very interesting. I don't think this is going to be huge because I think in general people don't care
God, I
about
hope not.
music games
Well, you know
anymore.
what? I ain't got to worry about it anymore, but still, God, I hope not.
But yeah, I used to love playing those games, and this is pretty interesting.
I know people love their music games. I get it.
You don't have to have
well, actually, you know what? I don't get it, but that's fine. I know people like it. Yeah, I'm just like, oh my God, don't care. So that's just my entire thing. I like Amplitude on PS2.
That's also Harmonix, isn't it? I think Harmonix did that.
I like that.
That's one of their early ones.
I have DDR Mario Mix. Not because it's DDR
Mario Mix.
It's because it's Mario.
Yes.
And I have Dance Central 1 through 3 because
Amplitude is from Harmonix.
Yeah, good job.
Yep.
I always get Harmonix and Psionics mixed up. It's just like, could you not? Damn. All right. What's happening next?
All we got
before
now
I go to sleep.
So all we got now is, I guess, recent news we had. There's a lot of little things that's been coming out lately. Not like a lot
baby
of
news
huge.
this week. Little baby news is so cute. The baby news is.
And of course, right when I say that, I guess the biggest thing we have here, maybe not to us necessarily, but to the MLB The Show 21 is finally coming out on Xbox.
This is only the next step above music games.
So I mean,
but it's there.
Neither of us are known to be huge sports game heads or anything, but this is still interesting just from gaming industry kind of thing. This is a PlayStation Studios game.
It's been on there forever. Yeah,
that's being developed and published on an Xbox. It even has a PlayStation logo right on the front, which is crazy. I never would have thought that would happen. So yeah, Xbox hasn't had its own baseball game in a long time, really long time.
A very long time.
Sony's had that locked down for a long time. So the show coming out on Xbox is a pretty big deal. It's not as huge as Madden or 2K, obviously, but it is still up there. And now
it has their fans. Game. I know friggin' Jordan, that's like one of his friend of the show, Jordan Connell, that's like one of his favorite sports games. So
yeah, of course. Anybody who really is into baseball games or sports games swear by this game. But at the same time, it was the only one. There really wasn't any others.
Yeah, you really don't have
it's kind of like saying
some
Madden
All-Star
is
Baseball
your favorite,
2003.
Yeah, it's like saying Madden's your favorite football game. There's What else are you
It's
gonna
weird
play?
that I just named 2 sports games that I don't care about. But I know them in some reason,
And of course, Slugfest and MLB
Oh yeah,
Slugfest.
The Bigs. Are we just gonna name every baseball? There's just the MLB one, I think, too.
Yeah.
Slugfest was their version of like Hits or Blitz, right?
Yeah, it was.
Okay.
Yep. Hits.
I actually
was
do remember
NHL,
playing the Bigs and enjoying it because that was a bit more unrealistic. I don't like the simulation sports games. It's just like that's just something I could just do.
Yeah.
I mean, mind you, not professionally, but
I usually don't go for
could...
them just because their controls are there's so many fucking controls. I'd much rather just go for a simple. I don't mind FIFA though, because I mean, all you need to do is shoot, pass, or.
I bought a FIFA this week.
Oh really?
I bought FIFA 2002 on the GameCube.
Wow. Okay.
Don't ask me why, but I did. You know what? Actually, no. I think I know why. Because it's like it was like $1. It was just like, you know what? Well. I could use the GameCube case if I need a replacement. But it's just like, I don't own a FIFA game until now. Like this is the first FIFA I've ever owned.
I'm looking through all these baseball game names, and there's a couple. RBI baseball is one.
I remember RBI.
Triple Play was the name of the baseball game for EA. So that would have been EA's baseball game was Triple Play, which is
the last sports game I played.
High Heat. That's up here too.
Was Captain Tsubasa. I played that.
The soccer game that came out for PS4 like this year.
Yeah, I have it on PS4.
I wanted to get that. I'll wait till
that
it
was
drops.
actually pretty interesting. I love the aesthetic of it, especially when you do like the super moves.
Yeah, of course.
My problem was once it starts getting too sports-like, and if that makes any sense. Like, I love the anime aspects of it, not so much the sports. So, like, the first couple missions where you do it, matches, sports matches, I guess. I don't know.
Yes, the sports game matches. Yes.
Yeah. Those sports combats things.
Yeah.
So
sports ball, yes.
Yeah, those sports balls, they were actually really good. But when they started adding like more and more mechanics, I'm just like, all right, stop. Like I was fine
until
with just being glorified Pong. Yeah.
So is this like a weird combination of simulation and arcade, kind of like Forza, Project Gotham or something?
Yeah, that's the thing, and I love the arcade bits. Oh, excuse me. But when it started getting a little more complex, that's when I'm really like, I'm doing these tutorials, and I'm like fucking up the same thing like 10 times, and I'm like, okay, do I really need to know how to do like this Passover alley-oop bullshit? Can I just not like run and hit a button and do a super move and it look cool? Like, and that's all I really want to do.
So that's good news for anybody who's looking for something closer to actual simulation soccer. Bad news for us, I guess.
Yeah, and I love the aesthetic. It was so good. But yeah,
I'm also interested about getting that because those are the games I would get. I have Winning 11 and I have FIFA and some of those. Those are the sports games.
Sega Soccer Slam. That's a good one.
Sega Soccer Slam. Yes. I think they had like a FIFA Street at one point.
I have NBA Street Volume 3 because it has Mario, Luigi, and Peach in it. Same reason I have SSX Blur, but I actually have all the SSX games. So,
man, I
need to get SSX 3 on GameCube because I actually have Tricky on GameCube, Blur on GameCube, but I have 3 on original Xbox, which is actually one of the backwards compatible enhanced games. Oddly enough,
I have the newest SSX game on 360, but backwards
the one that's just called SSX.
Yeah, the one that's just called SSX. I have that on.
That's more of a simulation, if I
Xbox
remember right.
One.
It's less of a goofy sort of crazy arcade thing.
It's still a goofy.
I mean, it's
crazy
not straight
arcade.
simulation.
Yeah,
don't get me wrong.
Yeah,
it's less than what it was.
It's still arcade, but not as cartoony. It actually has it plays really well. I like it a lot. It has more of like a loot system for like your boards and I want to say armor, but it's not armor. It's like winter jackets and shit.
Yeah.
Which is kind of weird, but the gameplay is pretty dope.
I will say, and not trying to get off too much off topic. It's like, can we get another wave race? I feel like it's been long enough.
Yeah, it's definitely been long enough.
Okay.
When was the last one?
GameCube.
Oh, yes. Oh, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been
Blue
a long
Storm.
time.
Yeah, so. But yeah. What's next? I'll take the next one because you did that one.
Yeah, go ahead.
Should I go out of order? We always go out of order. I feel like
it
it's
doesn't
a
matter.
tradition.
News is news.
So, yeah. Let's see. What do I want to take then? So I'll take Judgment. I'm so excited. You know I was going to take that one. Because I've actually played all the way through Judgment, and I've gone on record to say that is the... If you want to play a Yakuza game, you want to decide, do I like Yakuza games? Just play Judgment. A reason I say that is you're not tied to a character. Like even with Yakuza 7, there are some references to previous Yakuza games. It's a different sort of thing altogether. Yakuza 0, good game, but it's definitely at the start of a series. You're going to be intrigued to want to try more, and I encourage you to. But if you want a standalone adventure with minimal references to the previous games and you just want a good time, Judgment is fantastic. And this was locked to PS4, but it is coming out on Series X and PS5. I don't remember the day. April something, I believe.
Something around there.
And it's coming out at a budget price of $39.99, and I'm going to buy it day one. I've actually already pre-ordered it, so I will replay this one. I loved it. Because you actually play as a private investigator in this one, not a Yakuza or ex-Yakuza. Still plenty of combat, but there's a lot more. In this one, there's a lot more like investigating aspects of it. You're like an ex-lawyer.
Yeah. I'm really looking forward to this game. The story was pretty interesting, too. I played the demo of this on PS4.
I played the Japanese demo when it first came out, and I played through the game in English. It actually has pretty good voice acting, so...
That I'll never hear.
Japanese... Well, it says good Japanese voice acting, too, and good English voice acting. They're both well done, so... I actually played... kind of flip-flopped back and forth because I really didn't know what I wanted, so... but they're both great.
So yeah, definitely looking forward to
that. Yes, absolutely. Everybody buy Judgment. Yes.
That's your plug for it.
Yeah, buy it.
So there was going into the next PS4 game that was locked. Well, not really locked recently, but that is now getting unlocked for PC. Kingdom Hearts.
I would say, yeah, it's on Xbox. What you talking about? What you talking about, Willis?
Recently. But
recently.
It's never been on PC officially until now, apparently. Which actually I did not know that. I could have figured one of them must have came out on PC.
Nope.
I guess not. Never.
So it's the entirety of Kingdom Hearts coming to PC, correct?
Yes, it is. But they're still they're releasing them separately. So you have the Kingdom Hearts
of course.
1.5. Yeah. Well, I mean, they're not gonna give you the discounted
lose
super
out on money
and then not maximize their profits on that shit. But I mean, yeah, it's still good for anybody who still hasn't come across Kingdom Hearts, which is kind of surprising now, all these years later. But there are people that really haven't, gotten a chance to play
They are
this.
a little dated. I actually bought them on Xbox, even though they were on Game Pass. Mind you, they weren't on Game Pass when I bought them. But I honestly had a really good suspicion they were going to pop up on Game Pass because I have a feeling that was partially funded by Microsoft.
Yeah. They made a big push for Square Enix games.
They did. I bought them just to kind of vote my wallet.
Right.
Anyway, and I actually started playing the first one. They're well done. I mean, mind you, it's a PS2 game running on a way more powerful console, but I mean, it runs at 4K locked. I mean, it's beautiful. Runs smoothly. Even Kingdom Hearts 3 looks damn good. When I actually played it when it came out, it even looked good then. I know it's had a lot of improvements since then. So
yeah, I wonder how it looks like on Series X. See, I never.
That's a good question.
I never really got into Kingdom Hearts, not because I didn't. I love the aesthetic, and I mean, it looks really great, and the whole idea. I remember when it first came out, I was like, "What? Final Fantasy and Disney? What the hell is that?" And then, after seeing it and playing it myself, I was like, "Oh, this is pretty nice."
There is practically no Final Fantasy business in Kingdom Hearts 3 at all. It's all Disney.
All Disney. It didn't seem.
I mean, there is some, but it's really minor. For example, there's not any Final Fantasy characters in it.
Really? Huh.
Not a one.
So like Squall and all the rest of them are.
None of them are in Kingdom Hearts 3.
Interesting. I wonder if that's by. I wonder if there's any real reason for that.
There's a in the Toy Story level, which by the way, if you just want like a graphical, like oh my god, this looks fucking incredible. Play the Toy Story level. Play the demo because it's in the demo of Kingdom Hearts 3. If anything, just download it on Series X just to see like how amazing this game looks. This looks better than Toy Story did when it came out. like, cause you're in Andy's room and you're like, oh my god, this is so clean. And then you go outside the house and like all the grass is like modeled and shit, and you're like running around the yard. Like even the street is done up nicely. I'm like, God, they put a lot of work into this. But what I was saying is there's a toy store you go into in that game, and there's like it's not Final Fantasy 15,
right?
But it's fucking Final Fantasy 15.
Yeah, like, I've seen that. I've seen that little trailer. His name is
Yozora, I think his name.
Yeah.
But it's like a character that is pretty much Noctis from Final Fantasy 15.
Yeah, I saw that trailer. That trailer looks a lot like Versus 13, actually.
Yeah, which turned into Final Fantasy 15. So we're all going full circle here.
So yeah, I thought those. I mean, they're definitely well done. I never got into them though, just because they're really convoluted. There's so many different games, and they were all in these different series.
A long time ago.
At the time when
I played 3, I didn't know what the fuck was going on. I was just playing it to have fun, and I did. So whatever.
Yeah, because when the first 2 were on PS2, and then they had Chain of Memories, whatever, on GBA. Then they started coming out with games on DS and 3DS and PSP.
355 over 8 or something like that.
You had to have like every system to get all these. And I mean, when you're younger, that's not really possible. So yeah, I think I just played the first one and I got really close.
It's not possible because you don't have the money when you're younger. It's not possible because you don't have the time when you're an adult.
Yeah. so it's just, I mean, yeah, more power to anybody who's actually played all of these games. And I think it's more possible now because you can get them all in one place now, which is great.
There's that.
Yeah, but I mean, it's a lot. So I never bothered with even getting in there at all. Because with a Final Fantasy game, you can play one and you don't have to play any others. But True. Kingdom Hearts, like, you have to play them all to
follow the plot.
What the hell is going on.
If you want to follow the plot, I mean, they do give like brief explanations, and really with me, and this is kind of how I suggest you play it if you're going to get into it. Just play it to have fun. Don't read into anything too much. It's pretty obvious who the bad guys are. They're bad because they're bad. You don't have to have another reason.
Bad because they're bad.
They're bad. They're the bad guys.
They have way more zippers than you do, so you know they're bad.
Their zipper to buckle ratio is off the chain.
Yeah.
So.
But never really got.
Look forward to Kingdom Hearts coming to PC on March 20th. If you haven't played it yet, what is wrong with you? Get around to it. It's on Game Pass right now. Get it.
Yep, and they're on
you can actually still buy brand new copies of Kingdom Hearts 1 and Chain of Memories, and 2, I think, on the Square Enix store anyway. On PS2, you can buy brand new copies.
Yeah, I think they have the all-in-one package, they're calling it, on sale right now. And I think on PS4, PSN, you can get it for like $30. And the physical you can get for $25 on the Square Enix store. Yeah. So there's no reason not to get this.
At this point. Yeah.
So
even though I don't know if the all-in-one contains 3, I think it's just all the other ones. I'm not positive.
Yeah, I don't really remember.
I digress. Let's move on.
Yeah. So
take this Epic Games thing because I actually did not read this.
So Epic Games, this is very interesting. So this is not
I did see
specific game news, but it could be very beneficial to games makers in the next couple of years. So that's really good. It's the Epic Games MetaHuman Creator, which I would think that DC would have like some sort of registered trademark on that or something. Like, don't they always talk about metahumans? I don't know. So
I don't know.
Epic Games MetaHuman Creator. All it is just a way to speed up the process of modeling photorealistic characters.
Without having to sit there and physically model them.
Yeah, and model them by hand and everything, which I mean obviously is possible, but it takes a long fucking time. I can't imagine how long it took them to model characters in games like Ghost of Tsushima, Last of Us 2, and everything. I mean, from nothing, from scratch, it's insane. So this tool speeds that up a lot, and of course, Epic made it, so it's going to be in Unreal Engine, and everybody and their grandma uses Unreal Engine. So this is really good.
Somebody's grandma uses Unreal Engine. I just imagine this. Yeah. But anyway, continue on.
Absolutely. So I mean, this is it's not an actual game, but this could spead up.
But it's good news.
Development
it's good news
times,
for the industry. So
going into this new new generation.
There's one trailer with this lady talking, and at a glance, I mean, you could tell it's not real, but at a glance, like if you're looking out of the corner of your eye, it looks real.
Yeah. They look really good. They're not supposed to trick you into thinking they're real.
Yeah, they're not photorealistic, but they're
really damn close. And
what is the term? Uncanny Valley. Almost. Yeah, like they're there.
Yeah. So, in case you don't know, I'm sure everybody knows what Uncanny Valley is. The closest to real something looks is the more you notice that it's not real. It's like the little things will jump out at you and you realize, oh, this isn't real. Like their skin is too perfect or something, or the teeth are too straight, or just little things like that.
Something doesn't move the exact right way, sort of
just
thing.
Subconsciously,
the physics are just slightly off. Your eyes are good at picking out faces more than anything else.
Right. Absolutely. So yeah, that's good news. Especially with everything going to be looking way better in this new generation that really hasn't felt like it started yet. It still feels like
I don't feel like it either.
Yeah,
I feel like we're running last gen games. Well, okay, let's me rephrase that. We are running last gen games, and we're like struggling on some ends to make them run.
Yeah.
Because when they hyped us up, they're like, we're gonna do 8K.
Yeah.
We're gonna have 120. It's like, that shit's not happening.
Yeah. So some games have been marginally better.
They always do that.
Running at 60 now, but there hasn't really been any big showcases. But hopefully, this will speed that process up.
Ratchet and Clank coming out soon, man.
Yeah.
I think that's gonna be my first real. Maybe outside of Astrobot, but even Astrobot, like to a degree, I think Ratchet and Clank is gonna be my oh my god, this is a next gen game. But we'll see.
Yeah, that's all you. I think
I didn't put that. I'm just mentioning Ratchet and Clank got a release date. It's April something another. I didn't actually put it in the news, but
that's good.
What else got a release date though? And got a new trailer. Mass Effect Legendary. I'm speeding this up a little bit because we're getting close.
Yeah.
I'm taking the wheel. So Mass Effect Legendary Edition, which I will be buying. I'm not buying that stupid edition that doesn't even come with the game. I love these games though.
I love them. I love them a lot too. But I think
it's been a while, and I want to play them again. So this is going to be the way to do it. So, did you see some of those graphic comparisons? They're very impressive.
Yeah, I did. I'm also like a purist, and they did change around a lot of stuff, like changing around the lighting and everything, which I'm not too high up on that. It does look a lot better. It looks way better, and I'm hoping it runs at 60.
I sure will. It'd be a shame if it didn't.
Yeah, I really hope it does. So it looks really good. I've played the shit out of these games, so I don't I don't really feel the need to get back into them. I was looking forward to.
I want one last hurrah at least.
I was looking forward to if they had added anything drastic, gameplay wise, or maybe brought back the multiplayer from Mass Effect 3 because I thought that was intact. Multiplayer. Nope, that's not in there. Single player only.
Sure?
Yep.
Okay.
Single player only. So
Well, I think the Mass Effect 3 multiplayer. Something about it. I remember reading you can still play it, right?
No, you can. They took that out completely because they wanted to just focus on doing the single player, and they said that the multiplayer would have added too much development time or whatever.
Yeah, I could understand.
I can understand that, but at the same time, it's kind of like that's the thing that I would have been able to continue playing because I've
actually never really gone through Mass Effect 3 multiple times. Mass Effect 2 is one of my all-time favorite games. It's fantastic. I've gone through it several times, and I'm looking forward to going through it again. But
yeah, if you've never played these, absolutely go in there. And of course, Duffer, who was on here. Or if you just
want a fun nostalgia trip, I'd say go for it too.
Yeah. Duffer, who was up here in our last episode, he was really excited about that because he's never played these before. So yeah, if you've never played these before,
some of the stuff I saw him playing, I'm like, man, I bet he would enjoy those.
Yeah,
good old Duff Man. Why don't we call him Duff Man? Does anyone call him Duff Man?
I don't think so, but go for it. It's catchy.
It's just kind of like you can't even just say Duff Man. You got to be like Duff Man. You got to do like The Simpsons. So.
All right, so
I'm sure he's had. I can't be the first person to have thought of that.
No, absolutely not.
Anywho, go ahead and take the Street Fighter and the last thing, and we'll get you on out of here, guys. In the meantime, I'll look up the new releases.
Street Fighter. We can go into GoldenEye right after that, actually. But
yeah, I'll let you do both those while I look up the new releases.
So the Street Fighter V final season breakdown. I'm not going to get super in depth about this, but they talked about two of the characters are going to be having releasing for this final season. Dan and Rose, which if you're any long-time Street Fighter heads like me, I'm really looking forward to those characters. I prefer the Street Fighter 3 characters, but it's definitely good to see them. Dan especially, it looks like he could taunt cancel out of all sorts of shit, which is Man, that's I would have to probably sit in the sit in the lab for a while to get used to all that stuff, but it's good. It's starting to get interest back into Street Fighter, which really hasn't been there. You know, Tekken and Dragon Ball Fighter Z and all the rest of those games have kind of taken over the fighting game landscape. Street Fighter really hasn't been doing a whole lot recently, so this is good. The biggest thing they announced, besides those two characters, there's going to be a character called 11, which is basically a random select character. So most fighting game series has that one character, which is basically just random select. They're a mimic character. In Virtua Fighter, they had Dural, and in Tekken, they have Mokujin or whatever, the wooden guy. They also have one in Dead or Alive or whatever. So Street Fighter never really had one before. So now they do. Every time you select this character, they'll randomly turn into, once you start the game or start the match, it'll randomly turn into one of the other characters and randomly select the V skill and the V trigger and everything, which is pretty interesting. So we'll see where that goes. I don't even know if they'd be able to use them in like tournament or anything like that. But yeah, love to see where they go. Where that goes. There's still one character left that they have not announced for Street Fighter. I'm hoping that they bring back somebody from Street Fighter 1, like Eagle or something like that, or maybe like, you know, Maki or something from Final Fight. I would love to see them again. Eagle has not been in a game since Capcom versus SNK 2, so it would be super dope if they brought his ass back. They're probably not going to do that though, but you know, you can dream. So this final season, I don't know. The pricing looked pretty good on this. I'm hoping that it's not going to be anything too crazy, but definitely keep a lookout for that. So GoldenEye was leaked after all this time for XBLA, the XBLA version of GoldenEye, which is interesting because I remember hearing about this years ago, back before they even released.
I just kind of forgot about it, to be honest. I was like, oh yeah.
Yeah. So this came a little long ago. So right now, of course, if you have like a modded 360, whatever, you can download extra legally. You can download the GoldenEye
hyper legal.
Yeah, you can download this game to like play on your hacked 360 or whatever. Which it is a remake in the same vein as that other remake that Rare did for Perfect Dark. I have that. That remake is amazing. Remake is super amazing. It's
super well done. In fact, I'm actually pretty excited to hyper legally acquire one of these myself. Just maybe not to play on 360. I don't really care about that, but I do want this though.
Once I get my Xbox up and running and get RetroArch on there, my One X, I'm definitely going to try to hyper legally acquire GoldenEye and test it on there.
Hyper legally, but yeah, there's plenty of gameplay videos. I think out there, it's really impressive to watch. They have that function where you can flip back and forth, like the Master Chief Collection in Halo 2, where you can flip back and forth between the old graphics and the new. I mean, it's not like it's that taxing, but yeah, definitely check it out. Digital Foundry did a gameplay video of it, and I think My Life in Gaming did it too. So
there's a lot of these, and
but yeah, those are the ones I watched, and I was like, damn, this looks impressive. I'm actually pretty stoked about
modern
this.
Vintage
and I'm really excited about the fact that there's an updated control scheme, so you don't have that weird, awkward like move with the stick and then hold down R to aim. You can actually dual stick, you know. So,
but the original did have
without using two controllers.
Yeah.
You can. You can actually dual stick with 2 and 64 controllers if you really wanted to be dumb.
Yeah.
What is it? Derek Alexander had a video on that. So
I think it was called the Sidewinder control scheme or whatever in that game.
Yeah, something like that.
But yeah, if you played the remake of Perfect Dark, I imagine it plays very similarly. Which is
same.
But yeah, that's it for news.
That's it for news. That's all the things that we care about. Other stuff happen, but you know, sometimes we just don't care. So
can't get everything.
The next episode, in one episode. Yeah, you can't get everything. So what is the next episode of 26? I looked up the new releases while you were doing.
Yeah.
I'm sure I'm going to miss some stuff. Again, don't care. Especially digital stuff. Digital stuff, finding the release dates are a little bit harder. I rely on mainly physical media, but so between now and the 26th, and these are no particular order because they may be a little out of whack. You got today we got Galgun Returns and Super Mario, but
which is not coming out on Xbox. God damn them. But yeah.
Also you got I think Little Nightmares 2 came out today or comes out very soon.
Yeah.
But so you have Fallen Legion Revenants.
Yes.
That comes out on the 16th. Persona 5 Strikers. I'm super excited.
Is it Scramble or is it Strikers?
It's Strikers in America. It's Scramble in Europe. Not Europe. Japan.
Changing the name again, but whatever.
I don't know. I guess we don't like the word scramble. Don't know.
I'm actually looking forward to that.
I'm super excited. Now, the only bad thing... Well, you watched the anime.
Yeah, I watched the anime.
Very bland anime. I hear this is pretty much a sequel more so than a Muso to regular Persona 5, which I've beaten, so I'm pretty excited.
They've done that before for Persona 4. Persona 4
They did, but that was a very light on plot sequel.
I played through it. I liked it a lot. Persona 4 Arena was amazing, and I always
It was a good fighting game, but I felt like the plot came second to the fighting.
Good. I mean, just like in most fighting games. But I really hoped that it was going to put that on Xbox One. They never did. There's never a remake, and they never added it for backwards compatibility either, which I'm still
I still have my copies of that and Ultimax or whatever it was called. I love
Ultimate Suplex Hold. Yes.
So,
that's
Persona 5 Strikers coming the 23rd. Also on the 23rd, you have Lawsuit Incoming, Taxi Chaos. So,
what?
It's a game. It is Crazy Taxi, in anything but name, but it's called Taxi Chaos.
Oh, okay.
Look it up. It's fucking Crazy Taxi, like exactly. But
yes, it is. I'm looking right at it. It absolutely is.
Vita Classic Code Realize Wintertide. Was it Wintertide Miracles? Which my wife likes those sort of things. And lastly, Hellpoint coming then, which I don't really care about. But you also have Bravely Default 2, which I talked to with a friend. And he's like, "Are you excited about it?" I'm just like, I can't get into it. I tried that demo and I was so sleepy. It's so boring.
Did you play both of the original ones or just the first one?
I have them. Yeah. I have them, and I didn't get too much into either one.
I got pretty far into the first one. I never started the second one, though.
Lastly, and this is the one digital title I did notice that actually comes out soon, and I'm pretty stoked for, is, and I say pretty stoked in the fact that I'm not going to buy it immediately. I'm going to wait for it to go on sale, is Ghosts and Goblins Resurrection. Also comes out on February 25th.
Yeah. That is coming out soon, yeah. I'll wait to see how that... I was never super into Ghosts and Goblins, so I'll see how
Me either, and I'm not that good at it either, so it's just kind of a situation where I want it, but I'm not going to pay full price for it.
Yeah.
You know, it's the game... remember from the Game Awards, that game called It Takes Two, which is like the perfect couples game?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that comes out March something. I'm sure we'll get around to that, but it's like, could you not have bumped that up to Valentine's Day? Like, I'm thinking of stuff me and my wife could do. I'm like, that would have been perfect.
Yeah, that would have been good to try out. But
yep,
that's going to be on Game Pass, isn't it?
I don't know. I'm probably going to buy a copy. I bought a copy of A Way Out.
Yeah, I did too, actually. No, I think about it.
A Way Out was actually pretty damn good. I played through it with a buddy of mine, friend of the show, Kia. Well, Kia was like the proto podcast guy. Like, we were actually going to create a podcast a long time ago, but he decided, no, I don't have time, so it fell off, and then we started talking about it, and I was like, okay, cool. This was like way before. This was like years ago, before even no podcast, so.
Let's see. Is that it?
But that's the majority of the things. There's a couple other little bullshit things, but nothing nobody cares about. I'm not going to mention, you know what? I'm not going to mention them.
Okay.
I was going to mention it, then I'm like, no, I said I wasn't. So nothing else good.
That was it. So I guess that's our show.
Is it now? Where can everyone find us at, Dwight?
Of course, YouTube. Just like that.
What's the name of the YouTube channel, Dwight?
The name of the YouTube channel. All these trick.
Nope, without looking it up.
All these trick questions.
So
Fiji
the name
Escape.
of
and of
Fiji
course,
Escape,
welcome to the Gameroom podcast. As you already know. So definitely make sure to comment and subscribe and
follow us there. Where else can they
click
find
all
us?
the buttons? Just like you hear the same.
Except for the dislike button. Don't click that one.
Yeah, don't do that one. But yeah, click all the other buttons, just like all the rest of YouTube.
All the good buttons. 10 out of 10 buttons.
YouTube spiels. I will definitely be reading comments, so yeah, throw those in if you want.
Yep, and you can reach us on Twitter.
Yes.
At Gameroom Pod.
Yes.
And Instagram at Gameroom Pod.
And Spotify.
At not Gameroom Pod, but we're on Spotify.
Yes. So what are we on Spotify?
If you go to a podcast service, we're just under Welcome to the Game Room. We're on iTunes, Stitcher, SoundCloud. Are we on Spotify?
I thought you said that
I didn't
we
submit
were on
us
Spotify.
to Spotify.
Okay, I thought you said
SoundCloud.
I thought you said, all right, so disregard that. We're on everybody else but Spotify.
No, so we're on Stitcher, Google Podcast, Apple Podcast, YouTube, and SoundCloud. I did not put us on anything else. I imagine that after a while, you just start floating over to other areas. So that's how it was with No Podcast. Like, they actually didn't submit to certain things. They just got pulled over there. So, yeah. But Game Room Pod is the name of the Twitter and Instagram handle. So, the name of the YouTube channel, I named it in such a way to where I can put other stuff that isn't podcast stuff related on there. So,
yeah,
it is mildly confusing, but there was a reason for it.
So that'll work.
That'll work. That's it. We're gonna test you next week, Dwight. You better know our our YouTube channel name.
I'll have it all written down.
You need to remember it.
So thanks for.
I'm gonna get some business card in the near future, so we'll be able to actually do that.
So thank you for joining us this week. Keep coming back, and we'll keep making these episodes. Absolutely.
Yeah, I have fun doing them. So guess what? Even if you're not listening, we're probably still.
So that's it from us. See you later.
What do you say? What do you say?
You
say something. All right, I'll do the I did. I did.
All right.